So family, during the course of this video, we got an update on Quando Rondo's situation. And it says, Savannah rapper Quando Rondo was in court Thursday for a bond hearing. The rapper, Taekwon Bowman, was out on bond and awaiting trial for drug and gang charges when he got into a car crash on July 15th that caused the driver of the vehicle to temporarily be unresponsive. Medical reports found that Bowman was on benzos and opiates at the time of the crash. Although Narcan was used on him at the scene, his lawyer argued that the drugs may have been administered at the hospital after the crash. The state's request for Bowman to be put on an ankle monitor was denied. However, his driving privileges were revoked and he must undergo drug testing. You are a young man with a career in front of you, Chatham County Superior Court Judge Tammy Stokes told Bowman. All sorts of opportunities, but the bottom line is that it's all on you. At that judge, she really threw him 2 oops. Prosecutors have said additional charges stemming from the car crash are pending. So as y'all see, Quando Rondo bond is still approved. He's still out, but he has additional charges pending. Y'all go ahead and check out the course of this video because we got a question to answer. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Ring that bell icon and wipe your feet as you come in the door. Hit that like button.
But me, I'm just the type person, I'm curious and I ain't just listening to everything somebody tell me, so I had to go through the fire and see it burn.
I had to go through the fire and see it burn.
When you made to the streets, man, you gon' only end up 2 places. My mama always told me you were born to be hated.
Taekwon Terrell Bowman, born March 23rd, 1999, or more widely known as Quando Rondo. His stage name and brand, Quando Rondo, derived from his childhood nickname, Taekwondo. Quando Rondo is an American professional rapper / singer-songwriter who initially started making music back in 2017 with his first song, Gangsta, B-I-T-C-H, uploaded to his SoundCloud March 1st, 2017. Quando Rondo would go on later that year to drop a freestyle that would really put him in the game called I Remember, that really went viral very quickly on YouTube, which later garnered him a feature from one of the hottest up-and-coming artists in Atlanta, Lil Baby. That song went on to put Quando Rondo on the map. He followed that up by dropping 2 more releases, Motivation and Paradise. The videos for all 3 songs garnered millions of views, which led Quando Rondo to drop his debut mixtape, Life Before Fame, on April 17th, 2018, which featured appearances from Lil Durk, OMB Peasy, Lil Baby, and many more notable artists. That mixtape would be box office. The song ABG launched him into superstardom, amassing over 71 million views. Later on in June, Quando Rondo would follow that up by dropping the song Kicking Stuff. He would then drop a bomb on his newly acquired fan base by revealing to them that he would be signed to Never Broke Again, NBA YoungBoy's label, as their very first signee. Later on that year, it was backed up by a collaboration mixtape with Kevin Gates. In September, Quando Rondo would go on to drop his second mixtape, Life After Fame, and that mixtape would be his hottest one yet, with notable features from Boosie, NBA YoungBoy, Jada Youngin, and many more. The mixtape peaked on Billboard Hot 200 at number 174. He would then go on the following year in February 2019 with a mixtape, Scared to Love. 2019 went on to be his biggest year to date because he dropped a smash hit mixtape, Neighborhood to the Stage, with notable features from Blockboy JB, NoCap, Polo G, and Shy Glizzy. The mixtape peaked on Billboard 200 at number 22. The following year, on January 10, 2020, Quando Rondo would go on to drop his first debut album, Q-Pop, with features from 2 Chainz, A Boogie with the Hoodie, Lil Durk, Lil Kel, and Polo G. His first studio album was a major success, peaking at number 22 on the Billboard Hot 200. Quando Rondo would follow that up by releasing his 4th mixtape, Diary of a Lost Child, in August of 2020. In December of 2020, Quando Rondo released a YouTube exclusive mixtape, Before My Time Is Up, and would halt his career until 2022 when he dropped a collaborative mixtape with NBA YoungBoy called 3860. The mixtape was preceded by 4 singles, Give Me a Sign being the most notable one. The mixtape was eventually taken down off of NBA YoungBoy's YouTube channel due to a dispute with Atlantic Records. Atlantic Records eventually cleared the song Give Me a Sign, which eventually ended up on Quando Rondo's 2023 debut album, Recovery, as the album's lead single. He then went on to drop 3 more singles to promote the album until its official announcement. And I think we can all agree that Quando Rondo is one of the biggest young stars in hip-hop today. But even with all of his wins, Quando Rondo has still experienced his fair share of shortcomings. It seems like every time Quando Rondo is in the news, it's because he has something very, very eyebrow-raising going on. Now, we all know about the situation between Quando Rondo and King Von, and I really feel as though that situation took a major blow to Quando Rondo's career. Maybe more than he would like to admit, because ever since we seen that situation initially transpire, Quando Rondo has been coming out talking about he's being blackballed. As crazy and as life-changing as that situation was, we are not here to talk about that situation, because that situation is a catastrophically overwhelming topic in its own regard. We'll do that another day. What we are here to speak about is what is Quando Rondo doing as of lately. Now, I feel as though Quando Rondo has really been on edge ever since the situation happened with Lil Pop.
Shots fired near the Beverly Center. A bullet-riddled black Escalade flees the shooting scene and stops a short distance away in West Hollywood, right next to the sheriff's station, as deputies and paramedics swarm the scene. Tonight, 1 man murdered and a killer on the run. Eyewitness News reporter Irene Cruz live now where it all began in Beverly Grove. Irene.
Mark, it all happened at this gas station here in Beverly Grove, and it ended in West Hollywood. Police are still investigating this case, but when it all started at this gas station, it happened just across the street from where thousands of people were shopping and dining. Shots fired, a fight taken to the streets, and this chaotic scene, the ending of a shooting that started in Beverly Grove. Sheriff's deputies pulling out a man who had been shot in an SUV. This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight. It all started at this mobile gas station at 5:30 Friday evening on La Cienega and Beverly. LAPD says witnesses heard multiple gunshots, then watched a couple cars zoom off. 3 people in 1 car shot at this black Cadillac Escalade. We're not sure if those inside shot back.
Can I get some space, please?
It ended at San Vicente and Santa Monica Boulevard. Deputies found it peppered with bullet holes and a shattered window. 1 man inside had been shot. The 23-year-old was taken to the hospital where he died. The scene left with remnants of the fight. Shoes left in the street, doors flung open. The suspects still on the run. We don't know much of what spurred it all, but LAPD says it started at a gas pump.
Victim vehicle, they pulled up, they were pumping gas, and it looks like they probably finished pumping gas, and the suspects approached from the alley, got out of the car, and started shooting at those victims.
Investigators are still trying to piece together details, but they are looking for a white 4-door sedan with 3 suspects wearing dark clothing.
Police helicopters overhead, so we knew something was up.
People in the neighborhood shocked by the news.
Disappointed. There have been a lot of incidents in the past couple of years. It does seem that things have been happening more often on Melrose, between Fairfax and Melrose and around here.
Again, investigators are looking for 3 suspects in a white 4-door sedan. If you happen to know anything about this case, you are urged to call LAPD or the West Hollywood Sheriff's Department. Reporting live in Beverly Grove tonight, Irene Cruz, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Details tonight in a deadly shooting near the Beverly Center. We've learned the victim is a friend of rapper Quando Rondo. The Atlanta-based performer shared this picture on Instagram today. According to the LAPD, the victim was ambushed by 3 men while getting gas on Friday. Video from the scene appears to show Quando Rondo distraught while first responders moved the body. So far, no arrests have been made.
We remember throughout the course of that situation, Quando Rondo was completely destroyed. He had no happiness living in him whatsoever.
I had like one of my partners that actually passed, you know, that really hurt a lot of us. Like Paul, God bless the dead a bit, bro. Fortunately, it's been like worldwide. Man, boy, can't too many people say they watched their right-hand man take his last breath and they still wake up, stay motivated, get stuff done, walk around and smile, act like they happy, and dip, man. But certain people wouldn't be no more good, man. Like, boy, us, that hurt. Like, some of the past stuff done hurt us as a family, man.
But ever since that situation, we started seeing Quando Rondo talking about how he's non-stop getting pulled over by the laws.
God, but they like, come on, man. Come on, man. Every fucking time, man. Come on, man. They got me pulled over again, man. What your name is?
Mine's Chris.
And you?
Smith.
God damn, man. Every fucking time, man. I feel like Boosie, man. I feel like Boosie, man. Y'all want to hear me skirt off in that cat? Huh? This, that. Huh? Yeah, this, that cat. This one of 3 truck. Y'all want to take a...
And as much as Quando Rondo should have took that as a sign that the laws was watching him, unfortunately, he didn't. So he decided to start dropping videos like this, where he was talking about dropping bags on people.
I drop a bag as if a try to play me, yeah. Where we at, you know, we posted up on every, yeah. By Scabby, we gon' drop a grenade, yeah. You play with Scabby on your, we drop a 80, yeah. On hood.
But unfortunately, for a lot of young black men coming from the hood to having something, they still keep that same mentality that they had while they were living in the hood. But now it's amplified because they have money, they have clout, they have fame, notoriety, and they can make people do what they want. So it's like that saying, you can take the boy out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the boy. And that is a recipe for a disaster. Quando Rondo is no exception to this, because later on we go to find out that he had a worst case scenario happen.
22 News investigates, and we uncovered new information about the indictment and the charges against 18 people, including Savannah rapper Quando Rondo. Now you're looking at exclusive video that WJCL 22 News gathered at the scene of a raid of a home in Savannah to collect evidence as part of an ongoing investigation into the Rolling 60s gang. Now, this is the same gang that the Chatham County District Attorney described Rondo as a manager in an indictment that was just released. And tonight we have learned that this is not the only home that was raided by a joint team of city, county, and federal law enforcement. Tyquain Terrell Bowman is a Savannah rapper indicted on gang and drug charges. A Chatham County grand jury indictment accuses him of being a leader of the so-called Rolling 60s gang. He tweeted this message to his family on Friday after turning himself into police. What the tweet doesn't tell is that law enforcement was gathering evidence against him and the gang the day before. WJCL 22 News exclusively recorded this raid of a home on Reynolds Street near Hamilton Court Thursday morning. We learned it was one of 5 houses in Chatham County that a joint team of officers from Savannah Police, the Chatham County Narcotics Team, and agents from the FBI and the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms searched from 6 o'clock in the morning until almost 9. Law enforcement sources tell WJCL 22 News they were looking for evidence connected to the Rolling 60s gang, which they describe as violent and connected to illegal drug sales. Bowman, or Quando Rondo, was charged with traveling to Macon, Georgia to purchase marijuana after negotiating the price for the gang. We watched as 2 people living inside the home were taken into custody. They are among the 19 people indicted by a Chatham County grand jury on charges of gang activity and drugs. The people living in the home on Reynolds told WJCL 22 News they were woken to law enforcement pounding on the door, threatening to break it down. They told us no one in the home is connected to a gang, and any weapons found inside the home were legally purchased. At the end of the search, we watched as FBI agents carried out a box filled with envelopes and other documents. Law enforcement tell us it's evidence connected to the ongoing investigation into several street gangs that include the Rolling 60s. Now, law enforcement would not describe the type of evidence they seized. We're hoping to learn new information during a news conference tentatively scheduled for next week. As for Bowman, he has a bond hearing on Friday.
Now, y'all don't get me wrong. I ain't gonna sit up here and act like all of this stuff just started happening after Lil Pap passed away. It was happening before.
Why the fuck you ain't got that man, cut? Cause of what?
You ain't scrap. You ain't dirty. I said let's go to the bathroom. Let's go to the bathroom and get a 1. Let's go to the bathroom and get a 1. Scare rat.
I just cracked NLE chopper homeboy in this shit, running up on me. Hey, crack nigga ass in this shit, nigga. Fuck NLE chopper, and I got that found me, and I'm around Houston. What's up, nigga? Pussy ass nigga. Niggas know what the fuck going on with me, yeah. Free white B, 4K trade, nobody say. Yeah, his partner ran up on me, cracked him in this shit with a Hennessy bottle, bust his little face all open, blood everywhere, and I got that found me, nigga. Same body I cracked that nigga in this shit with, on hood, on my child, nigga. Crack that nigga in this shit. Stop playing with me, nigga. Nigga Shaq Glizzy say, book me for another show and I'ma thug it. Hey, crack that nigga in this shit, ain't it? Yeah, stop playing with me.
Yeah, my brother done been in the car one time, out of town, and this years ago, like before problems and stuff. And somebody was, I guess, trying to get at somebody else and missed and wet our whole car up. Am I lying?
No, somebody got shot in the arm.
Actually, and my brother had got shot. Man, it done been times me and him not been together. Like, I'm talking about young kids. We don't know what's going on. We outside playing. And a whole bunch of gunshots go off, like, including with me and him. I'm pretty sure everybody in this room, not saying y'all haven't been, I wouldn't know.
One thing we do know for sure is that before, stuff like this wasn't happening, where he had to put his freedom and life in other people's hands and wait on bonds.
Away now from finding out whether Savannah rapper Quando Rondo will be released on bond. We want to check in now with WJCL's Nakai Carrero. She's live for us at the Chatham County Courthouse. And Nakai, I understand that there were some changes made overnight to this hearing. What can you tell us?
Yeah, that's right, Emma. The rapper will now appear in person in front of a Chatham County judge in a courtroom right behind me later this afternoon at 1:30 p.m. The rapper, whose real name is Taekwon Bowman, is part of a 49-count indictment that names 18 other people. Bowman is facing 4 felony charges this morning. He's accused of running the Rolling 60s gang here in Savannah, buying drugs, and illegally using a cell phone. Ahead of today's hearing, his attorney has filed a motion for discovery. He is requesting evidence from the Chatham County District Attorney's Office, asking for copies of any statements made by Bowman, written or oral, and for any statements referencing Bowman. Now, WJCL 22 News will be in the courtroom during this bond hearing, and we will bring you any updates on air and online at WJCL.com. Emma, back to you.
None of that stuff was happening before. He didn't have to worry about dealing with the police watching him. And if y'all was listening and paying attention closely, they clearly said that the feds had been watching them. They started watching them in October of 2022. So that was right after Lil Pod passed away. You feel me? Just pay attention to everything that's being said. Now, we did get some good news coming by way of Quando Rondo, because that bond hearing went his way.
Right now, Savannah rapper Quando Rondo is out of jail after a judge granted him bond this morning. You might remember the rapper was indicted on gang and drug charges. WJCL 22 News' Brooke Butler got a hold of the bond order. She joins us now live from our newsroom tonight. And Brooke, the judge set his bond at $100,000.
Yeah, Shannon. And the Chatham County Sheriff's Office confirmed to me this evening that the rapper, whose real name is Taekwon Bowman, was discharged from the jail earlier today. Now, in this bond order, Judge Tammy Stokes noted that she doesn't feel Bowman is a flight risk or that he poses a threat to the community.
Review the exhibits that you've presented. I'm going to review the arguments that both of you have made along with the indictment. I'm not going to rule now. I'm going to take it under advisement.
And now Judge Tammy Stokes has made up her mind. After taking the weekend to consider arguments from both the defense and the prosecution, the Chatham County judge decided to grant bond to Savannah rapper Taekwon Bowman Monday, better known as Quando Rondo. Bowman is facing drug and gang-related charges. The state accuses him of being the leader of the so-called Rollin' 60s gang. Friday, prosecutors asked the judge to not grant him bond, saying he's a flight risk.
He's very good at multitasking. While being a performing artist with all these obligations, he's been able to be an active member in the gang.
They also argued he poses a threat to the Savannah community.
The Rolling 60s are currently one of the largest and most violent street gangs in Savannah. That man is the leader of them.
But Rondo's defense attorney said his client poses no danger to the public.
My client is like a local hero. Born and raised here, done good, had a successful business.
He also argued his client will show up to court as promised. He used him turning himself in as proof of that. In the end, Stokes sided with the defense. She decided to set Bowman's bond at $100,000.
So we basically found out that Atlantic Records saved him by saying he's the face of our brand. We are going to babysit him. We are going to make sure that he stays out the way. We put our word on it. We gonna keep an eye on him.
Today, WJCL 22 News got their hands on a letter that played a key role in a judge's decision to grant Savannah rapper Quando Rondo bond. We turn now to WJCL 22 News' Nakaya Carrero, who breaks down the letter for us.
In my hand is the letter from an Atlantic Records official vouching for the rapper Quando Rondo, whose real name is Taekwon Bowman, to be released from jail. In one part of the letter, it reads, "Mr. Bowman is one of our most important signings in recent years." The letter was written by Lonray Gaba, who is the co-president of Black Music for Atlantic Records. She names off his professional accomplishments, like his debut album hitting 22 on the Billboard chart, saying Atlantic Records has always been and continues to be confident that Mr. Bowman is only at the start of an incredibly long and promising career. The letter also states that Bowman is financially responsible for his family and lists his contributions to the Savannah community, like a free shoe giveaway at the Hibbett Sports and providing uniforms to the Savannah Elite Bullies, a youth football league. In the letter, Gaba states, "We understand that Mr. Bowman is not to be viewed any differently than any other offender in a criminal case. However, it is important to note that Mr. Bowman has the benefit of a strong support system to provide him with the resources and tools he needs to stay on a positive, productive course should he be released." Now, this letter was presented to Judge Tammy Stokes during his bond hearing last Friday. As of now, there is no word yet on a next court date. Reporting in Chatham County, Nakaya Carrero, WJCL 22 News.
Atlantic Records went all the way out on a limb for that man Quando Rondo, and that's how you know they valued him. But even after they did all that, even after everybody vouched for him, even after he came out on interviews talking about how he wants to be a positive influence, he wants to make sure that he watches what he does because he has so many eyes watching him, and he knows right from wrong. He knows better.
Keep setting a bad example. I feel like everything ain't meant. If I was playing my cards like this from the beginning, I'd be in a way better position. But you know, you gotta go through stuff in life. You gotta bump your head to get a nut. And I never listened, so I always knew what I was doing. I'd be lying if I said I didn't know I was setting bad examples. But I'm not gonna say while I was doing certain stuff that got me in trouble, I ain't gonna say I was thinking, yo, I'm about to set a bad example. I wasn't thinking that until I got caught up doing something, and then it went viral, and I noticed, damn. And like, and don't get me wrong, you know, I ain't saying certain stuff that happened between. I ain't saying everything you did was right. Everything you did was right. Everything you did was right. Everything I did was right. Nobody perfect. But at the same time, I feel like I've been living by the code. I've been sticking to the code. I've been handling business. I've been doing what I had to do. I've been taking care of my family and my child. I ain't been moving reckless. I ain't been moving dumb. I cut off a lot of drugs. It's just like, man, I'm finding out, like, he always told me, like, boy, you gonna get older one day and change, and now I see it. I ain't no little boy. What, I'm gonna be running around here showing 30s on Instagram and shit still? I'm gonna be around here shooting a music video with 100 guns in it still? I done been there, done that, it's over with. Now it's time for me to sit back and watch the crowd of kids who gonna do it and the crowd of kids who not. And I'm gonna be here to tell them the same thing they used to tell me. Listen, this would come with this would come with that. Don't do this and that. Come with this would come with that. Don't do this and that. Because, man, there's only 3 types of ways to learn. One way, you don't want that way at all.
And even after all that, and yeah, granted, that was before he caught this case. You know, this stuff started way back in October 2022. But he should still have that mindset, like, I'm done, I changed. But yet and still, he showed us he haven't, as this latest situation came out.
Now at 5, prosecutors are calling for a Savannah rap star's bond to be revoked following a car crash in Chatham County. Joining me now in the studio to explain is WJCL 22 News' Greg Coy. And Greg, walk us through what led up to that crash.
Good evening, Brooke. Now, rapper Quando Rondo, whose real name is Quando Bowman, is accused of being one of the leaders of the Rolling 60s gang here in Savannah. Now, the Atlantic recording artist is facing 4 felony charges in a 49-count indictment. They include a violation of the Street Gang and Prevention Act. Bowman is facing drug and gang-related charges along with more than a dozen other people in Chatham County. A judge decided to grant him bond in June. His bail set at $100,000. Wednesday night, Savannah police tell us that he was involved in a car crash on the Truman Parkway. Now, another car was involved, but police have not said if anyone was hurt. Because of this accident, prosecutors want to revoke his bond. Now, according to court documents, one court document, prosecutors wrote that emergency services responded to the scene. Bowman was administered Narcan because he was exhibiting signs of an overdose. Prosecutors have now filed this subpoena to get a hold of his medical records from the hospital from the night of the crash. That hearing is scheduled for next Thursday, and he will be arraigned on those gang and drug charges in September.
And Greg, why are they asking for this additional evidence?
Now, the conditions of his bond state that he is not supposed to be in possession or using any illegal drugs. And that is why prosecutors want the results from any lab tests for toxicology and blood alcohol. Now, if he violated any of these rules, prosecutors want his bond revoked and for him to go back to jail. Bowman's attorney telling me that he's not going to make any comments at this time.
All right, our Greg Coy reporting live for us in the studio. Greg, thank you so much.
Because it's gonna be too late. The other way, you don't want that way at all, because you're gonna have to deal with it. The third way, which should be the first way, is the one you want, and that's the one all us got right now, everybody in this room.
And what made that so worse is the fact that it was in his bond that he cannot catch any charges whatsoever, or that bond be revoked.
There are some conditions, though. Bowman cannot have any contact with his co-defendants. He cannot ever have a gun on him. He cannot use or possess illegal drugs. He has to surrender his passport and waive extradition. He also must attend all court proceedings and violate no laws.
And Brooke, the rapper is now posting on his social media pages.
Yeah, Shannon, that's right. At around 9 tonight, he announced that he's actually planning to drop a new song tomorrow. It's called Feel This Way. And he said in the post, he included
You gonna learn whether it's God calling you home, taking your life. And that's when you learn too late. You gonna learn. We got partners calling us every day from prison. Like, boy, like Free Pluto. We got a partner named Pluto. Man, that man was active. Man, that man do not want to be in there. He learned behind the wall though.
So which one are you gonna choose, Quando? Are you gonna wait until you behind the walls to finally learn? Or are you gonna learn right now and fight this? This is bad, bro. You in a bad position. They are trying to take your life. Do you not realize the charges that they are trying to slap on you? What they are saying you are guilty of? They're trying to lock you away and throw away the key, and you don't get it, bro. You still out here getting messed up on stuff, ODing and needing Narcan, bro. After being out on bond, after they told you, bro, if you do anything, you done. You gonna go do some stupid stuff like crash into something, bro. And this is why I say, what is going on with Quando Rondo? What is wrong with this man? Now, I tried to make up something for him or find something for him. Maybe it's the little pipe situation, but at the end of the day, you gotta be a man at some point and realize, like, bro, I'm being stupid. I got a child out here. I got a career. I got so much I need to be free for, so much to live for. I got people who depend on me, but yet and still you being selfish, bro. Even if it was a little pipe situation, you being selfish. You allowing your own emotions to change the life of the people who depend on you. Selfish. But all in all, we'll find out today what they are going to do about his bond. And more than likely, that is finna get revoked. Let's just be real. So you need to be looking forward to the future. Like, now I need to go into a mode of fighting this case and winning my freedom. You finna be just like Young Thug, sitting in there not knowing what's going on. Y'all let me know how y'all feel though, man. Like I said, man, this is crazy. Quando Rondo need to get it together because he out here crashing out. And that's just flat out what it is. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And also follow me on Instagram at AllFactz KingKo, all lowercase. Show your brother that love for you to be featured in the next video. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts though, man. I really want to know. 100 family. We'll be back.
I got niggas in the graveyard.
Told me, love, bro, don't say fuck it. And me and you won. This on my daughter, on Hood, on NH. He told me, little bro, don't say fuck it. And we won $100,000 apiece. On God. So with us being successful, what you telling me, don't say that, and we had a success story come from it, don't say never. So we worried that.